I think my office is haunted. Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Shayna, and in my little corner of the internet, we talk about spooky history of all kinds. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I'm here for you on Wednesdays. I also have a podcast called Spooky History with Shayna Blake, and that is where the audio of this video will be. Now, I wasn't planning on making this video today. I was planning on making a completely different video, but that's gonna have to wait until next week because I really feel like I need to tell you guys something. So, I think my office is haunted. Not this office. The office that I work at, my full-time job. Now, I've worked there for, it will be 7 years this year. It's an insurance agency. This building is really old. It's in a building like what you would see like in Western movies. It's a building that is attached to many other buildings. Our building was built in the year 1900. So it's 122 years old. Very old building. When it was first built, it was put into 2 offices. How can I explain this? I'm gonna have a diagram up on the screen for you guys. So there's the front, which is right next to the main street, and it's just got a bunch of windows, okay? I sit in the front part. There's 2 desks. One is mine on the right, and then there's an empty one on the left, and that is where we keep like our brochures, calendars we're gonna hand out, cards, stuff like that, all stays on that desk. And then there is an office on each side. So there's an office behind me, and then there's an office behind that empty desk. And the office behind the empty desk that is diagonal from me is my boss's office. The office behind me is empty. I've used it a few times when we had another worker working with us. For the most part, that office is empty. And then back behind those offices, there is a little area where we have our refrigerator and microwave, stuff like that. And then behind there's 2 bathrooms. The one that is on my side of the office, directly behind me, is the one that we use. The one that's behind my boss's office, we just use for storage. And I'm just explaining this so you guys can get an idea of what it kind of looks like. But anyways, this office is really, really old, okay? My boss is actually starting to update some stuff. He's been an agent at that agency for 20 years. And so he's finally updating stuff. But this stuff was happening way before that. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I was gonna try to be as organized as possible. But like I said, I'm sitting in the front where I can see everything that's going on outside. There's just big windows. You know, I'm able to see everything that's going on outside. That way I can see when people are coming inside and I can help them immediately. Well, some things have happened since I've been working there. It's nothing scary or anything, just weird, you know? Like, this may have been like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, it was a long time. At this time, we didn't have any neighbors on either side of us because they were just really old. There was no way anyone could put a business in there without it being renovated and stuff. So we were the only business there. There was no one next to us on the other side of the walls. I was working one day and my boss, he comes in usually around 9 and 10. Just depends on what all he has to do in the mornings. I expect him to be in the office between those times. We all park in the back of the building. We go down the alley and we park in the back right next to the back door. The back door is right behind my boss's office and it's loud. Like, you can hear it. It's really obvious when someone opens that door because the lock is loud. We don't use the doorknob lock, we use the bolt. So it's really loud whenever we unlock or lock that bolt and open and shut the door. You know when someone's coming in, right? I heard the door open, the back door open, and then I heard it shut. It's like, okay, boss is here, you know? I didn't hear anything else after that because I can't see him. You know, I can't see when he's coming in. I can just hear him. When he comes in, I hear the door open and shut. I can hear him lay his bag down and him moving his chair around and getting situated in his office, and I'll say hello or good morning, or he'll say hello and good morning, something like that. Well, this time it was just the door I heard. It was an open and shut. I was like, that's weird. I was like, hello? And nothing. No noise. My boss does like to mess with me sometimes. He thinks it's funny because I scare so easily. I could just be walking around the corner and someone will be there and I'll just freak out. I do it to my husband all the time. Like, I'll be walking around a corner and he'll be right there and I'll just jump. Even though I know he's there or I know he's in the room, I'll still jump because I just get scared so easily. So my boss thinks it's funny. So sometimes he likes to scare me. So I get kind of leery. I'm just like, is he trying to mess with me. You know what I mean? So I get up, I go into his office, and I'm just like, boss, hello? Are you here? And I don't see him. I don't see his bag. His desk chair didn't move since I came in that morning. So I'm just like, where's he at? So I go around, because you can walk in a whole circle around the office. So I walk around just to make sure he's not trying to jump out behind a corner or something. I walk around and I'm just like, Shayna, you're losing your mind. You know, no one's here. So why did I hear the door open and shut? Like, it was so loud. And so my boss finally comes in. It's probably like maybe 20-ish minutes later. It's not long after that happened. And I'm just like, did you come by and open and shut the door and then leave? No, I just got here. It's like, okay. I told him what happened and he's like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, I thought so, but it's okay. It's whatever. Maybe the office is haunted. And I joke around about it a little bit every now and then. If I hear something, I'll just be like, boss, the office is haunted. He'll just roll his eyes like, okay, whatever you say. Now, I've heard that a couple times on 2 different occasions. When I hear things, it's not all the time. Like, I'll hear something and then it'll be like months later, something else will happen. And then it won't be for another few months or even a year, something else will happen. It's weird. So sometimes I'll hear the lock, I'll hear the bolt. And so I'm just like, what is that? You know? Now, I have heard of things called residual sounds. It's not a haunting, it's just residual. Like, it happens every now and then. You'll hear a door open, you'll hear a lock turn, you'll hear a floorboard squeak. Okay, so I had to look it up because I didn't know how to explain it. So residual, it's mental impressions during an emotional or traumatic event, can be projected in the form of energy or recorded onto rocks or other items and replayed until certain conditions. Something like that. Residual. Just something that happens and I hear it every now and then. It's very possible because this building is really old, right? Every now and then I'll hear that. I do bring my children to work when they're sick or they're out of school or whatever. They will come to work with me because I'm usually by myself at the office. It's just me that works there other than my boss. My customers that I help day to day don't mind. So I will bring them to work if I need to. And my oldest has never had any experiences that I know of, but my youngest did not that long ago. I tell you what, it freaked me out. Okay, so let me explain. I'm sitting at my desk. My youngest, he's the only one with me at work. He is sitting in one of my chairs that are at my desk for the customers to sit in. He's just chilling there, you know, he woke up from a nap, sitting there kind of waking up. And to the right of me on the wall are a bunch of filing cabinets. Well, it's a nice day. The sun's out. There's not a lot of people out on the road. There's not a lot of people walking. There's not a lot of cars going by. And so it's just kind of a peaceful day. I notice my son is turned around in his chair. So he is looking over the back of the chair, just kind of sitting there. He's looking towards the corner of my office, which is where the filing cabinets are, and then the window looking outside onto the street. I know that no one has walked by for about an hour at this point. So I'm just like working, typing on my computer, getting stuff done. And all of a sudden I look over at him and he's looking at that corner and he goes, bye-bye. And then turns around and looks at me and I'm like, who are you talking to? And he just kind of looks at me like nothing. And I'm just like, did you just talk to someone? Like, I just got chills. I get on my phone. I just start texting people. It's like, you will never believe what just happened. Well, anyways, he's not scared at all. And this child gets scared really easily. He's like me. My oldest will scream really loud and my youngest will just think it's the end of the world and he'll come running screaming thinking that someone's after him, you know? And I was just like, what was it that he was talking to or who was he talking to, you know? So I thought that was really weird. My boss came in and I told him what happened and he's like, who knows? And I'm just like, oh geez. It's like, this office is haunted. I've been telling you this for years. This one thing happened. It wasn't a big deal, but it freaked me out, okay? It was just last week. I was sitting there working. I was in the zone. I had a lot to get done that day. My boss had left because he had to go take pictures of some homes, and then it was at lunchtime, so he was just gonna go by, grab something to eat, and then come back to the office when he was done. So I knew it was gonna be a while. He was gonna be gone for a couple hours at least because he had to go to a completely different town to get these pictures and stuff. I was just getting stuff done working, and all of a sudden, I hear in his office papers shuffling, like someone's in there looking for something, and I was just like, hello? And I do this because every now and then if I'm in the zone and my boss will come in through the door, sometimes I won't hear the door open. Like if he does it quiet enough, I won't hear the door open. And so I'm like, did I just not hear him come in, you know? So I'm just like, hello, like, boss, you back? And I didn't hear anything. And so I'm sitting here thinking, is he trying to scare me again? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I keep working, but it's bugging me. It made me worried because I'm just like, what if someone's in his office? I couldn't focus anymore. So I got up, I went into his office, and there's no one there. Looked like nothing had moved since he left. I look at the back door, the lock is locked on the bolt. So I walk around, I don't see anyone. So I'm just like, what was that noise? And it was loud. You'll hear these settling sounds from the building because it's really old. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't scare me at all. But this was paper shuffling. I sit back down at my desk and I'm just thinking, I'm just like, well, he couldn't have came in and then left. I would have noticed that, especially since I heard the papers shuffling on his desk. I would have heard him go back out the door. So I go back to the end of the building and I open the back of the door and I don't even see his car anywhere. It's just my car out there. Now, at this time, they did renovate the place right next to us. So we do share a wall right now with a bed and breakfast. And there was someone over there at this time, but we can never hear anything that goes on over there. Never. I don't know. There's just really good soundproofing, I guess, because someone's always over there and we just never hear anything. I think it would be really hard for me to have heard them shuffling papers around, especially if it was coming from in my boss's office. So I just thought that was really strange. So I told my coworker, I was like, either the office is haunted or we have a Frogger hanging out in our office. She just thought it was funny. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Now my coworker, she works at our other office that's in another town. I instant message her a lot when I'm working, but she's just like, oh, Shayna, you know, it's little things like that. I was talking to my family about it and my sister-in-law was like, well, do you guys have mice? I'm like, no. In the 7 years that I have worked here, I have never seen any mouse holes, mouse poo. I haven't seen mice at all. There's just no mice in this building. And she's like, well, what about cats? Do you get cats outside or something? I was like, no, I never see cats outside. I haven't. I've seen 2 cats that one time they were kittens and they ended up dying right outside of our office for some reason, which was really sad. Those are the only time I've ever seen cats, and that was years ago. So I'm not sure. I think it's haunted. I wanted to let you guys know and get your guys' opinion, but that's where I'm at. And like I said, I wasn't planning on making this video today, but with stuff that's happening, I'm just like, ugh. And then my boss is now starting to renovate. And what I hear is that if a place is haunted and you're renovating, the activity is just going to get worse. I'm just like, ugh, hopefully it doesn't get too bad. But I just wanted to kind of share that. That's what's going on right now and just kind of get your guys' opinion on it. I've been there for, like I said, about 7 years, and it's not all the time that I experience something. It's a few times a year, but some of those times I'll just get really creeped out. Like sometimes I'll be sitting there working and I'll just get this feeling like I'm being watched, and it's creepy. It's creepy, you know? So I'm just like, well, go away. But anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed my little story time. Don't forget to check out my podcast called Spooky History with Shayna Blake. That is where the audio of this video will be and many of my other future videos. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give me a like, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. It does help out my channel. And I hope you guys have a very blessed day, and I will see you all next week. Bye!